There you go. You ready?
We're ready.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the December meeting, Transportation, Public Facilities and Public Works Committee. The attendance slide, so Matt, Dean, Ray, Kathleen, and Seth. All right, minutes were sent out in the email for our prior meeting, so I will take a motion to accept the minutes from both meetings in the November 2nd meeting. Motion, second, please. Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
The opposed, none opposed, great. The minutes are passed, our attendance taken care of. And we'll start with transportation and public facilities.
Okay, so highway crews, due to the leaf pickup, we've been, periodically doing trees, resident requests, anything that is a priority or an emergency. So as we wind down with that, we'll be back on these small day-to-day projects. So
We're done with the leaves.
we finished yesterday. They weren't out this weekend, but they have been out every weekend previously. And the day after the holidays, so the boys really humped it to get through, so.
Just in time, it looks like, huh?
Yeah, well, December, you're on borrowed time. So personnel wise, we still have one vacancy left in the Parks Department. We're gonna wait until after the first of the year. Let things settle down and regroup through the process. One of the two current employees that we had reso, one started as of Monday, and we expect the next one within the next few weeks, so helps fill the void. Number 4, parks crews, been servicing summer equipment as the leaf pickup ended, and prepping for winter operations. Sanders going through plows. We generally service our equipment before we put it away, so that in the spring, all we do is charging of batteries and a quick greasing, and we're able to get out. So they're doing their chop time now. Yard waste, the truck that completed bag and can pickup as of December 1st for the season. We've gotten a million calls on that.
I forgot to get my stuff out, or I got it.
Oh, yeah. So,
They did pick up, I think, even a little bit last week. So,
well, last week was the last week, and Friday was the last day. So, I think a lot of people knew that December 1st was the deadline, and they called continuously last week about, I still have a few bags, I still have a few cans. So as a courtesy, I sent a truck around, or we sent a truck around. Me and Pete talked about it. We sent a truck around. They are done now. We gave one final sweep. If you still have them now, you'll have them in the spring. Not much we can do now. Yeah. So, as a courtesy, we did, because we were encouraging people after the leaf machines went through. A lot of people said, I still have a little bit. Can I bag them up? And, the pickup was random until December 1st. So we did do a canvas of the area, and there was still some bags and cans. So we made one last sweep, and that is, as of right now, we're out of the leaf business for 2023. Town board resolution. So Patty's been working on bid extensions for materials and a few vendors for the 2024 year. We're waiting for a few to come back. I'll get them all to Elena for resolution. This isn't everything we do, but this is our materials, pipe, grinding service for yard waste, and that type of things that we currently use sometimes during the winter month. It gives us a way to, continue purchasing for the year. Paving and some of the like labor ready and stuff like that will come after the first of the year, before March. So these are all looking good. I definitely know our grinding was held, which is a blessing. Um, for the yard waste disposal and grinding and removal. We're getting a super price, and it's really, when you look at the way others are doing it, we're very fortunate in that. So we're happy to see that. Disc golf, Lomo. So we used the new mower. The landfill cap was completed. It worked out great. We got rid of a lot of the invasive species that the crew, Andrew from the parks met with Roy Thornton and did a therapy walk on the landfill cap. So there was a lot of invasive species that he was concerned about. Just did a good job on mulching them up. I guess it'll be a telltale in the spring how good it's a coarser mow, but it does get rid of a lot of the big stuff. We do have a few spots to go do by hand that obviously the mower can't get into, with a little larger vegetation that we're concerned about. I know Matt, it worked out because Matt was had an inspection as well, right? So, and me and Matt are gonna visit the site, and there's some parts of maybe the old system that is still exposed in the cap that is gets grown up around and just very bad for the mower when you hit it, that we may be able to eliminate. So Matt and Dan were willing to go up with me, and we'll walk the site and determine, if some of that stuff can be removed or at least covered or graded around so that it's can be kept clean. It'll just help the labor in the end. So be doing that. So that was completed. Loose leaf pickup. This isn't the total tally, but about 7,050 yards as of last month. So that equates to about 352 10-wheeler loads of leaves. And we didn't even get, that isn't even included in the last round. So when we do our math, and this is at FEMA rates, not even actual rates, as of last month, we're about $30.91 a yard. That would be times that's just to pick them up. That's not disposing of them. That's nothing else. So quite expensive. But the guys did a great job, worked hard, worked a lot of holidays, worked a lot of days, Saturdays. So kudos to them for all the hard work they do. Right.
Got it done before the winter.
Correct.
Years where we didn't get as lucky with the time.
Right. So number 9, highway garage. As of today, we have some of the highway staff and the mechanics stripping off the leaf equipment, because those are the same trucks we use to plow snow. We had a few that were equipped for sanding, so we were covered there in an emergency, and they were out this morning. Sanding and salting. So this will enable us to get the plows set up and fully equipped for the winter season.
It's very tricky though, like, to know when to put that down.
Yeah. It's
very hard.
And it's very expensive. And
well, you did good. You got it out there today. That's good.
Yeah.
And yesterday morning, roads were okay, but some roads were not.
Some were not, and we actually sent a couple trucks out to do hills and intersections. It was a dusting.
Just temperature.
So Yes, well, we did get some trucks out early morning for hills and intersections for the buses and the kids going to school, so that worked out as well. So I think that's pretty much it for me, unless somebody has something for me.
I got a call yesterday from a resident on Rose Hill about, Verizon work there and boring under the road and sort of complaining about the way that that was done, feeling that didn't get deep enough, and then now that I haven't, it was late yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to ride down there, and felt now that there's like little, I don't say speed bumps, but little
So
bumps in the road.
we got a complaint on that a while back, a few months back. Dan from, Matt's office reached out to the contractor. So we essentially froze any more permits until that was rectified. Matt obviously lives over that way and
What did we find there?
said this, it's the mole, where the mole kind of buckled the thing, but they're over there working on them now, saw cutting them. It's a little late in the season. When we met with them over the summer, we had recommended, we identified them all, Dan identified them all, made a list. We all had a job meeting out there with Verizon, with the subcontractors, that these are the addresses that needed to be rectified. Well, summer has come and gone. Now they're over there. So, I just talked to Matt here before the meeting, and Matt's gonna have Dan reach out to them. The little bumps might have to live for the winter.
Should they just mill that?
No, they have
I
to
don't
be,
know.
they have to be saw cut out, tamped, and the asphalt has to be replaced to existing depths. Same as any road cut within the town. But it's late, it's cold, the asphalt, it's cold. So they're over there trying to do it, but I don't think we're gonna get the result we want. So Dan's gonna reach out to them and kind of pull the plug on that unless there's another alternative. I don't. Yeah, and that was identified when we did it. Dan really got on them about their critical depths and all that. So, but once they were done, you know, I think Dan made them move some of them and go deeper.
Yeah, after we talked,
Yeah.
everything from there on, it's fine. They were just trying to go as shallow as they could.
So what was identified was corrected, but what the damage that was already done that needed to be corrected, unfortunately, is taking place now, and it's not up to time to be doing that. So Dan's gonna follow up with them today and put that on hold or. Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
The mole went just underneath the sub base and kind of, I mean, it's a little bump, but it's still a bump.
They did most of the work by hand. It was part of the issue. They didn't have the right equipment, I don't think.
Yeah, because that affects, you know, when we were up there at a job meeting, that if you ever do full in-depth recycling, that drum will be right full of them fiber optics. Cause we grind down into the sub base, we incorporate the sub base with the 2 layers above it. So that's why Dan made them correct going further. Hopefully we'll get that rectified and taken care of as of now.
Anything else?
Okay, I know we already did the meeting minutes, but I just thank Kathy for getting them done every month for us. Attorney's items, and Elena's not here, but I did have a few, accepting the new water main that was installed on Hilltop Road last. Drawings from the engineer and then along Elena said, I know it was tentative last month. We were waiting on the drawings, so I have those down and move forward on that. And then we had a handful of outside user agreements. Some of these were already on the public works agenda and they've made it through, but I think they sort of stalled because Elena wasn't getting the information back from the property owner. So I put them back on there again. They're tentative, assuming that she can get the information that she needs. Some of them are calling, they want to tie into the sewer and Aqueduct Road, but they haven't done the legal part of it yet. So I just wanted to make sure they're on there. If obviously if you can get all the information. And I'll check with her and find out what the status is as far as the feedback from the applicants. And if they don't do their part, then we can't do our part. Be tentative until they get all the information that she needs. These would be existing homes that we want to tie into the new sewer line that was put in part of Rivers Ledge.
Yeah. Speaking of that same area, what's happening with the water line?
So we've been told tentatively the week of December 18th, they have DOT and National Grid approval to do the work. And we're just waiting on the green light from, well, now it's National Grid is the one that's holding them up. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but they know at some point we're gonna have to pull the plug on it if they go too late in the season. DOT's not gonna let them do work out in the middle of Balltown Road or on the shoulder of Balltown Road, take a lane in the snowstorm or
Yeah.
anywhere near a holiday. I don't wanna, because this work will likely involve at least 1 or 2 homes getting a boil water order for 2 days. I don't want to do it just before Christmas.
No.
And then has to have boiled water
Right,
across the holiday.
right. So we gotta look out. for
Is that
the
both on
residents.
the,
Yeah.
their site ready? You see, they got
Yeah,
it carved out, beans
So
ready to
they have
go.
to turn the power lines off to get the crane in to bring the vault in. And National Grid told them it took several weeks to get a green light from them. Then they told them it was another 2-week waiting period after that. So.
I see they got a lot of it prepped.
Oh, they prepped
They have
everything they can
room,
do,
they
yeah.
did a nice job there.
Yeah,
This is night work they're doing.
it's gonna be nighttime, yeah. So water and sewer will have to work with them to get do a shutdown because we won't allow them to touch our valves. So it's gonna be night work for us. And we're getting to our busy season as far as water breaks. I really don't want to have everything come together all at once, so.
Temperatures are going down at night.
Mhm. Yeah, so this is the same thing happened last year. They tried to do it last year and I pulled the plug on it because of the weather. Hopefully it all works out, because it's impacting, will begin to impact their work down there on Rivers Ledge.
And they can, speed up National Grid or put some pressure on.
This is
the-
as fast as National Grid works. So I'll hopefully get an update later this week. If they're a go. But like Ray was saying, they're prepped. They have everything ready to go.
So even, so we're at the, today's the 7th.
Yeah.
Now you're talking 10 more days or,
Yeah,
the weather and, this time of year, 10 days is a lot.
it's not the time of year to be doing this work, but
No, it isn't.
so hopefully I'll have some good news to pass along next month that it's done, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Water and sewer maintenance, we are, like Ray was saying, with their materials, we're collecting the information that we go out to bid for our materials that we use every year. The bid will be going out in probably sometime next week. And then we'll open it before the next, probably before the new year. But I would like to try to get the acceptance of the bids on the special meeting in January.
Okay.
I believe we're gonna have a special meeting, town board meeting. And if that's the case, I'd rather do that and then waiting until the end of the month so that we have the prices locked in
Mhm.
for that.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's gonna want that too, right? We want these numbers, especially like chlorine and things that, price increases and that sort of thing.
I'm hopeful that the chlorine market has stabilized a little bit
I hope so too.
because our pricing hasn't gone up since I think probably mid-year. It's stabilized. Because they were only giving us like 3 months saying.
And is
it's all
the
the price
supply
back.
better? Even price and supply, right?
Supply is getting better too, I guess. Yep.
Okay.
Let's see. Just an update on what the crews are doing. They're doing last minute hydrant and valve work while the weather still is good enough to do that type of work. We have a list of hydrants that we want to replace and changing those out as we go along. And the sewer crew, they're doing their annual maintenance on the sewer pump stations, cleaning them and identifying repairs that need to be made or maintenance items that need to be taken care of. And we still have 2 vacancies in the water and sewer maintenance crew, but I'm like Ray as well. I'm going to wait until the new year to consider appointments. We're still looking for people, but we just won't go forward to the board until at least next year.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so much going on now at the end of the
There's a
year.
lot goes on this time of year, and it
Yeah.
just, even with getting the people in to do what they need to do to get on physical, but you know, all that type of stuff around the holidays, it's just, I think it's better, like Matt said, to the first of the year, and you know, who knows, maybe you get some different applicants. I mean,
Yeah.
exactly.
Utility billing, the fall 2023 residential commercial reconciliation.
Pleasure.
Chris has created the report necessary for the reconciliation, and we're checking the numbers now. If everything looks good, we'll move forward with it. Only if everything checks out. Wastewater treatment plant, an update on the organic waste program. Dan and I had some meetings with companies, local companies for hauling, and there's significant amount of interest in coming to our plant with fog. Local guys just come in, do their collections, and then come in and drop off at the plant. We had one trial that came in and they dumped, and very happy with the material that they brought. And so we just have to work on the contracts.
Good local too, that's good. Smaller trucks, local, and you can monitor what they're bringing a lot better.
Yeah, so some of them are going to Albany right now, and some of them are going to Saratoga. You can pull them away and come stay local. It's a lot more beneficial for them to come. If they're working in Santa Fe County, just come right to us instead of going
Yes,
all the way to Albany.
good. And where are we with the engineers and DEC?
I just requested another update yesterday, and I'm still waiting for an update from BNL.
Keep pressure on that.
Yes, that's. Well, we can definitely get by with the fog, but I still want to open up to other opportunities.
Okay. I reached out to Aiden, I think I told you that, on him, you've reached out to him, or Dan has also.
Yeah, and this would be, if we had the local haulers, this would be outside of our existing contract with Wind River, individual contracts with the hauling companies. And we can negotiate,
We'd be doing our own pricing, that sort of thing, right?
yes, and it's,
Better rate,
yes.
okay, good.
Let's go ahead. Push that up. We brought the Biogen generator online this week, and we were running both the sludge boiler for heating the sludge and generating electricity for the plant at the same time. And this is just with our own sludge. This is with
Is that right? We have
yeah.
enough gas for that.
It wouldn't run all the time, but we ran probably about 3 hours with the generator and the boiler, and we went from 100% capacity down to 80%. So that's how much gas we used, but we were generating 135 kilowatts. Yeah, so it was like 80% of the 85% of the demand for the plant.
Now, we signed it, we got a contract for the maintenance on that biogenerator.
They were there,
Then
yes,
they
yeah.
came in and you fire that up.
Yep. Yeah, and it was
All right.
great, yeah. And then they also did service on the emergency generator that's there as well, the diesel. The water plant upgrade, We are still waiting on a breaker from Mexico so that they can finish the motor control center for one of the buildings. And once they finish that, then the majority of the electrical will be done. So right now we're on hold. We're doing all the prep work necessary to do that. The contractor is still doing some of their wiring that they need to do for it. But our water plant's been offline for about a month right now. We've been purchasing water through the city. We knew that was going to happen as part of this. So we pump more water out of our well field over the first half of the year so that we wouldn't be at too much of a increase in how much we
Right.
buy from the city.
Yeah, you want to talk about that.
But we're getting to the point now where we need to get back online. And this
Yeah, it's just for this part that we're waiting.
was ordered in February. Yeah, that's how long it takes.
And what are they saying time wise?
It was originally gonna be October, and then it was pushed to November, and then it was pushed to December 1st. And now they're saying middle to the end of December.
Is there a workaround? That's my
No,
next
because
question.
In order for the panel to be UL rated, it has to be manufactured completely at the shop. 24-hour burn-in and all that. That can't happen without the one breaker. So they can't even ship it to us until after they get the one breaker. It's nuts. But so right now we are gonna be able, actually, there is a way to go online using temporary power feeds, which we are working on. We won't be fully back, but we can produce water and run 2 or 3 of the wells. But it's really not ideal.
Not ideal, but if we get into a situation where we need to, we can do that.
And the additional costs to do that will not be paid for by the town of this point. It will be eaten by the electrical contractor. We already told them that and they agreed to it.
Are you buying a spare breaker to have one on the shelf just for the wait time?
I mean, it's not just in that. I mean, variable speed drives. They put us off at a month and a half for a fan for one of the guys with the sewer plant. And so we're gonna buy 3 of them anyway, just so we have them. But everything is, especially electrical, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
No, no.
Terrible.
Okay, recycling, transfer station landfill. Just an update. We did, like Ray mentioned, we had our annual disclosure inspection by Sterling Environmental. Everything looked good. They provided a report which will be submitted to the EC as required by our permit for the proposed landfill. And there's a couple of minor repairs that need to be made, and we'll take care of that.
This area you were talking about that you want to change, we have to get any kind of approval or anything for that, or are we just gonna try to take care of that area that you're speaking about?
Well, no, we don't need any approval. It's the old gas system used to pump all the gas that was collected off of the landfill down to a building down by the river that was burned there. That was modified to a passive gas system where you have the candy canes.
Mhm.
So that's replaced that. But as the landfill settled, the individual little junction boxes stay where they were placed. So as the ground settles, they pop out of the ground. So it's just I think they're concrete.
Yeah, somewhere.
Concrete and semi-fiberglass.
Yeah.
So the boxes stick out of the ground. So we can fill around it so he can pull over them, or we can cut them down because all the piping is still down deep enough that it's not.
Yeah, the piping isn't the problem. It's just the access stuff there. That, you try to mow close to them, but I mean, they had somewhere like this, somewhere like, and you don't want to have them. So
Right.
a lot of it's just grading. It's not infrastructure stuff. A lot of it, I just want to be sure with him. That's his baby. I'm just the caretaker. Exactly.
As efficient as possible.
Well, it makes it cleaner too. It makes it so that you don't have to, when you can't get close to a structure or something down there, that's where the invasive species comes from. And that's, you gotta go up there and knock that big brush hog down by hand. And the more you can do with the machine is better.
That's all I have.
That's all you have. From that. Next meeting date. We don't have our calendar yet.
I think, I saw it online, it's online, but is that the official calendar?
Well, it has to be voted on, correct?
So
I didn't,
tentatively,
So
I
it's
didn't
the,
see a draft of that. Did that come out? We
I
didn't.
don't know
see it yet.
when,
I haven't seen it.
What is
maybe
it?
this was in the economic development meeting?
Yeah, I think Laura had been
Okay.
kind of looking
Yeah.
at it at the second.
What, January 4th, the 11th?
I guess, the fourth, yeah.
4th?
Yeah.
All right. January 4th. Yeah, to be subject to, that's what we'll put that in that. Okay. Motion to adjourn,
motion.
second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? None opposed. Thank everybody.
I don't.
Kathy, you want